Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Hello, Nini. Chloe made it in. Nani made it in. Tree Baby, where you been, girlfriend? TTT Sharon's in. Mayor's in. I saw Jack. I've been in here chitting and chatting with everybody. Michelle is in. Mary's in. Good morning, Connie. Good morning, Shani. Yesterday was a great show. Thank you, everybody, for everything. And of course, we're back at it today. Good morning, Christina. Good morning, Nana. Hello, Sonia. Extra AF, did you get your trivia prize in the mail? Thank you, Amy. I like your personality too. Good morning, I see you. We're hitting it again, but today it's about the other person, adult, that we know was at home the day Summer disappeared and was with her a good majority of the day, and that would be her grandmother. Tiffany is back. Tiffany, I apologize again. I'm going to start checking that more. This is a live show. The chat moves fast, and sometimes people get timed out that shouldn't be timed out. They get blocked. Nobody should ever be blocked unless I do it. So I'm going to figure it out. I'm just going to keep an eye on it more. But I was mortified. Extra said not yet. I think, what is today? Thursday? No, today's Wednesday. I sent it regular mail, and I think it was Friday that I mailed it. Anyhow, we're back at it. We're back at it. Cant, and Grandus. What are the odds? You have two people in one family who have vanished. You have two states, Wisconsin and Tennessee, with two separate law enforcements shaking their head going, people can't just disappear without a trace. These are human beings. Look at this on the screen. Someone cannot go missing without someone knowing something somewhere. Someone's got to know. Someone's got to know. Now, the demeanor that Grandus has with the disappearance of her daughter Rose is much different than her demeanor with her granddaughter Summer's disappearance. She was reserved to the fact when Candace told her Summer's just gone, she said she's been abducted. I don't care about her bum knee. Why didn't she go and look for her? What was she doing? Good morning, Carol Freakin' Claus. OJ got some bacon funds. Look at that. Look at that. Got a lot going on, my friends. First, let me get to the comments. Misty Dew said, you don't have a hole in your heart when someone you love is missing, especially your child. It is much deeper and more painful than that because you don't know where they are and if they're okay, what happened, or if they're alive or dead. A hole in your heart comes from knowing they are gone for this world. Grandus makes me ill. She's so full of it. Spanish Angel said, Candace once said they told Grandus Rose fell off a horse. My gut has always felt Candace had something to do with Rose missing. We're going to look at that article here in a minute. I have heard that Candace was very jealous of her sister Rose. I've heard that Candace was very jealous of Summer. I don't know. I could see Candace being that way. Could you guys? I've heard that Candace was in Wisconsin when Rose disappeared, and I've heard that she was with the Carneys in Arkansas. It can't be both ways because that's a big difference. So I don't know. But we have common denominators with two people missing in one family. Those common denominators are Candace Hare and Candace Wells. What else is there to say? What else is there to say? When Grandus said Rose was the pretty one, I about fell out of my chair. Moonshadow said, if anything, they need to be booked for negligence, period. I think Grandus was asleep. Candace was passed out. Summer walked off and was taken by one of the many pervs in the area, or there was an accident. She died. We don't know. But regardless, there was negligence involved and they should be punished. And everybody has a different theory, and we respect everybody's opinions here. I think if she truly wandered off, well, she would be above ground and they would have been able to find her. They had a military grade search in many, many agencies. But let me talk about the negligence. A couple of years ago, there was a guy in Tulsa and he was asleep on his couch. Okay. Parents take naps. They fall asleep. Well, his two children went outside to play and they got into the car and, well, the heat got them and they both died. Okay, at the time it looked like it was innocent enough. He fell asleep, didn't know the kids were outside. Well, through further investigation, they found out he was under the influence. He wasn't napping, he was passed out. Well, he had to go to the jail. So what is going on with Dan Armstrong in Hawkins County, I will never know. You have a missing child. You have 3 in foster care. They weren't taken because Dawn was drinking too much. They were taken because they suspect foul play. Or as Pruitt said, other instances. Why was Grandus not given her 3 grandsons? I think we can figure that out. We got everybody rolling in. Let's take a second to tell everyone howdy. Woohoo! We're saying howdy and we got gifts rolling in. Thank you, Carol. Now then, let me ask you this. Who do you think wrote the script? Who do you think wrote the script? Who's running this show? As you remember, we talked about it yesterday. We've talked about it many times. Candace isn't comfortable with the script.
But I'm letting you know how I feel about the whole script.
Right.
But I'm letting you know how I feel about the whole script.
Right.
But I'm letting you know how I feel about the whole script. DT Driver said Grandus. I kind of think that too. Because if Don wasn't even home, he wouldn't know what to make up. But when Grandus is like, let's just tell him we were planting flowers. It was very important in the Dr. Phil show when they show the circle around the house that goes right by the camper. So if the phantom abductor came up there to get Summer, well, Candace and Grandus were by the camper. They would see a strange car drive by to get out. These are Don's words, not mine. If someone came up the dog trail, they would go by the camper where Candace and Grandus were. They would have seen someone because they were by the camper. They should have thought about that. They should have realized there's such a thing called Google Earth and we can see the layout. I guess they didn't think about that, did they? All right. We're not going to talk too much about this. I'm just going to touch on it because I know a lot of people are talking about it. Fred Hill did get arrested. I don't think Fred has anything to do with Summer's disappearance, but it's like we discussed almost 2 years ago. I said this cast of characters, we're not going to find any white knight in the shadows that does the right thing. We're going to find a lot of dirty people. The people they associate with are not good hombres. Okay, they're not. I give Robin a little bit of credence because I think she just kind of sucked in with them. Jody Sue, don't get me going. Kathy, don't get me going. We know Kathy lied. She told that whole story on her channel about the Subaru, that the rats ate up the wires. Well, lo and behold, JLR is in Springdale, Arkansas, and what's parked outside the hotel room? The Subaru. God. All right, Smiley put this on her channel. This is about Fred Hill. We'll talk more about it tomorrow, but today is mainly about Candace and Grandus.
How can I do? Yes, sir. Y'all have a Fred Hill that you brought in earlier. Can you tell me what his bond actually is?
A Fred Hill?
Yes.
One moment. Alrighty. So, we have him, looks like charges of maintaining a dwelling where narcotics are sold and possession, manufacture, delivery, sale of methamphetamine. Both of those have a bond of $25,000. So together it would be, to bond him out, I believe 10% of the combined bond. So 10% of 50,000.
All right, so it's 50,000 because I guess online they have it as 500,000. So it is 50,000. Is that definitely correct?
That's what my system is showing me. I'm not sure where they got 500,000.
Okay.
These are under the TCA charge codes.
Okay. All right. So I just want to double check that. Okay. When is his first court appearance? Is it in the morning?
It says his first court date is, from what I can see right here, 8/31.
Oh, so he'll be in there until then unless he makes bond?
Yes.
Okay. Now, that's not automatic, right? He can make bond and get out.
That's correct.
Okay. All right, just checking. All right, thank you so much for your time.
Of course.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Narcotics, we have the bond straightened out. I wasn't concerned about it because I'm not going to bail him out. It is odd to me, and it's almost Shakespearean in a way, that everybody around the Wells is being affected except the Wells. Jody Sue, who I'm not a fan of, she's not had a really good time. Marlena's had some issues with CPS. Allie has had issues with CPS. Dudley got locked up. Last I heard, Jeff Cassidy's still looking for him. Fred Hill's in the clink. Basically, everybody that they associate with has had some sort of legal problems except for them. Now, yesterday, I'm not going to get into it too much today. News Nation put an article out that said they got an email back from Ronnie Lawson and he's going to have an update soon. That could explain how nervous Candace has been recently. That could explain it. I don't know. I do not know. Now, this is on JLR's channel. We're going to look at this real quick because good for JLR and how he is everywhere. Again, I don't talk about other creators, but when I see good work, I give props where props are due. This is not about JLR. This is about the content that he put out for all of us. You're going to see that the Subaru is fine. Uh-oh, the video is unavailable. Well, crud. Sorry about that. Anyway, the Subaru's outside. He knocks on the door. Candace, in all her glory, opens the hotel room or the motel room. You ought to see the reviews for this place. Whew! Anyway, cockroaches and all, she opens up the door and shuts it real quick. And he said, "Where's Summer? Where's Summer?" Hopefully he puts it back up because it was great. But it really pisses me off about that Subaru. Why would you even lie? Why would you even lie about the Subaru? Lisa said, bring Candace to Hawkins County Jail and Lawson can greet her with, "You old stranger. Get in here, you old stranger, Candace. Come on, Candace, you old stranger." I see you said I screenshotted the look on her face. Snazzy said, Cant has already reported JLR. The look on her face was priceless. Priceless. I don't know why I'm so mad about this lie about the Subaru, but I am. I am. Pease needs her own show. Pease is a comedian. She is a comedian. All right, let's get to it. We have a backstory to go through first, and that is the disappearance of Rose Bly. Again, what are the odds? What are the odds? One family, two people that were considered the pretty ones are gone, disappeared, vanished.
August 21st, 2009, Rose Bly left her rural Polk County home to visit a cousin in nearby Cushing, Wisconsin. It was the last time her family ever saw her.
The family's hurting. You know, that's why we're here today.
First-year Sheriff Brent Walk is making Bly's case a priority at the 10-year mark. Investigators have already interviewed 150 people and handled 200 tips.
Our focus now is to shift and try something new.
That includes releasing an age progression photo of what Bly would look like now at 31. And then there's this video.
And it's horrible. It's hard to deal with. Very hard to deal with.
The sheriff's office interviewed Bly's mother in a short video distributed to followers on social media.
It's not a good feeling. It's just, I wish I knew where she was.
We hope people share the story. We hope people start talking again about this. We want this to be in the forefront of what's going on.
The sheriff's office has never identified any suspects or any possible motive, but there was one early clue. Just days after she went missing, police found Bly's car here in this public parking lot in Grantsburg, about 30 miles north of where she lived. But still, there was no sign of Bly herself. Investigators at least recovered evidence and DNA from the car in Grantsburg. That town still remembers the case.
It's in the back of people's minds.
Megan Schauenberger was only a few years younger than Bly when she disappeared and wants to see this case solved.
I mean, a lot, especially for this town. This town itself has been through a lot, but her family.
Bly's children have never known their mother.
This mystery is solvable. We just need to get that vital piece of information.
Danny Spiewak, KARE 11 News.
Disappeared. Gone. Gone. Look at this article with me. Where Summer sent it to me. There's a lot of information in here. Wisconsin mystery. Yeah. She left her home about 7:30 p.m. August 21st, according to her husband. Husband reported she was going to meet a cousin the night she went missing in Cushing, 12 miles away. Her car was found abandoned in a parking lot August 26th. Look at that map. There's a flyer. There's Grandus. There's Rose. Then back to the map. Okay. See if that'll play. One night in August, Rose Marie Bly disappeared. Her mother said the St. Croix Falls, Wisconsin woman who disappeared less than a month before her 22nd birthday is a loving mother who would never leave her two young children. And police say no one they have talked to has said otherwise. So not one person that they have talked to said she'd been chasing another pogo stick. She was a hooker. She was a gambler. So they're not just relying on Grandus. They've talked to other people. That's all I know. Bly's car was found abandoned 4 days after she was reported missing, but there's been no trace of her. Investigators scoured her phone records, drained a lake, and followed up on several reports of sightings, none of which proved to be her. So where is she? If she walked away, if she harmed herself, if somebody else harmed her, there's just so many possibilities, said investigator Pete Johnson with Polk County. Nothing right now gives any more weight to any of those theories. Sound familiar? 2 in 1 family. 2 in 1 family. Uh-oh, we've got Where's Summer? Good morning, my friend.
Good morning. How's everybody today?
Woo! Been waiting on you because we know you're fired up about this subject. Hello, Glenn. Glenn just made it in.
Oh, it's just a thing.
All right, the mystery of what happened to Bly has left those who care about her as stumped as those who are looking for her. Sound familiar?
Yeah.
I'm just what's in because I don't know what happened, said her mother, Candy Hare of Grantsburg, Wisconsin. She doubts her daughter, who wanted to be a children's book author, would have left on her own. She was an amazing mother who would never leave her children. I think I've heard that from just about everybody we talked to, said Johnson, who was working the case with investigator Lisa, and I can't pronounce that last name. Nobody believes that she would take off and leave her kids. Nothing unusual. Hang on, I put my glasses on. Nothing unusual. Nothing appeared to be unusual in the days leading to Bly's disappearance. It was August 21st when Bly left her home around 7:30 to meet a cousin in Cushing. Christopher Larson, that's her husband, told police she never arrived. Larson reported her missing the next day. In the days that followed, police contacted anyone who might have talked to Bly before that August night. And no one said she had been thinking about running away. Investigators looked for clues in her cell phone records. The night she left was the last time it was used. Bly's car was found August 26th in a parking lot in Grantsburg, about 15 miles north of Cushing and even further from St. Croix Falls. So she never made it to the cousin's house, obviously. She wound up in a parking lot. Well, at least the car did. Police searched the Grantsburg area, but found no new leads. Investigators were waiting on the results of DNA samples taken from her vehicle. A small lake about a block from where her car was found was drained, but again, no clues. The wait for anything indicating where Bly has been is taxing on her mother. She said, some days I'm fine, some days I'm a nervous wreck. All right, so this is where Grandus puts her 2 cents in. And again, this is different verbiage than we get from the disappearance of Summer Wells. Okay? We're not getting this verbiage from Grandus. No, we're not. Head trauma, depression. Bly grew up in the Grantsburg area and graduated from Grantsburg High School. She moved to St. Croix Falls a few years ago. She and Larson were married in February. They have 2 daughters. At this time, 9 months, and one was 19 months. Bly enjoyed riding horses, and there has been speculation that she suffered a head injury during a ride shortly before her disappearance. Her mother said Bly fell from a horse about a week before she went missing. The last time the 2 talked, just days before her disappearance, Bly complained of headaches, said Hare, who said she advised her to see a doctor. Kind of like the planting flowers story. If you ask me. A little too convenient. She fell and hit her head off a horse. Good morning, Shannon, Georgia Peach. Like I said, kind of like the planting flowers story. And this is coming from her. How the hell would she know? There was no evidence that she consulted with the doctor or that she had head trauma from the accident. So in other words, BS. BS. People who know her indicated Bly had had problems with depression, investigators said, and according to court records, her relationship with her husband has been rocky. Now, it is my understanding that he is not a person of interest in her disappearance. And I know a lot of people still say he is. Everything I have read is that he's not. Now, he divorced her with her missing because he was afraid that she was going to show back up and get the kids. Be a shiner, not a whiner said, yes, Brooks, the scripts are similar. Stacy said a lot of BS. So what do you think about the pony story, Where's Summer, that Grandus Abandus threw out there?
Sounds like the flower story to me, or the cactus story to me.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. How come nobody else knows about this horse accident except for her who wasn't there? Not one other person in Wisconsin, where she went missing from, knows about this horse accident.
Exactly. And I've always said, in case Rose was ever found, would she have head injury?
If somebody gave her one that night.
Yeah. But I want to address something to your chat real quick, please. The other day when I said Grandus's mother's name was Cora Candace, I was wrong about that. It is Rosetta. I'll admit when I'm wrong, because this channel does not put out false information.
I don't think anybody's upset with you.
Oh, no.
Welcome, Wolfie. Wolfie is new to the channel. Everybody welcome Wolfie. I'm so glad you found us too, Wolfie. You're going to fit right in here. Yeah, don't even worry about that. I stick my foot in my mouth on the daily. If I apologized every day, the show would just be about what a dumbass I am. Okay, so let's get to Grandus's little documentary she made about Rose. And then we're going to see a big difference in the way she is with the disappearance of her granddaughter. Anywhere you want me to pause this, tell me, okay? Where's Summer?
Go ahead.
Tucked away in the rolling hills and dense forests of northwest Wisconsin is a landscape so beautiful you'd swear it was taken directly from a painting. But if you look close enough, there is a dark cloud lingering in the distance, a secret that these roads have held on to for far too long. A secret that has haunted Candace Hare in this community for 10 long years.
And it's horrible. It's hard to deal with. Very hard to deal with. And my life will never be normal without knowing where my daughter is.
Now, my understanding is, I read in a Rose Bly group, I think Katarina's running it now, that Grandus yearly goes to this missing persons convention. I hope I'm not misspeaking, in Wisconsin, and she has a table for Rose. But she won't cooperate with investigators about Summer. Ronnie Lawson is not going to come out and say they're not cooperating if they are. That's a good way to get your ass in trouble. Thank you, Carol, for the not the super stickers. God, I can't talk today. For gifting the memberships. So what do you think about that, Where's Summer? You have a table in Wisconsin every year for Rose, but the last time you spoke to the authorities about Summer is when you were complaining about YouTubers.
Well, you can have a table for victims because it's for all victims. But that don't have nothing to do with speaking to authorities about where your missing child is. Is it for fame? Because she has a missing child? I want to know what all she, Grandus, has talked to the police about. Not that she goes and sits at a table once a year.
Well, for some reason, I think she truly is upset about her daughter's disappearance, but I think she knows a lot more about her granddaughters, and that's the difference in her demeanor with the two cases. That's just me, though. That's just me, because these are her mannerisms. This is how she's acting. Why is she not setting up a table once a year in Tennessee for Summer? Why isn't she hanging up flyers? Why did she wait till March of 2022 to talk to WJHL to say, they know how to get a hold of me? They know how to get a hold of me. I just talked to him in December about some YouTubers. So you proved his point. You called about YouTubers, as she said, but you're not cooperating with them about what happened that day. Naps and peppermint don't fill in the whole afternoon, Candace Harrer.
Who had the tables and stuff set up? Because Grandus never really spoke to the police. She's talked once or twice with the news, or with what you just played, of her walking with the stick. But Rose Myers spoke for Candy Hair.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Tim Mullins and Dawn speaks for Candace and Grandis. If you have a missing child, you would speak yourself.
Makes no sense at all. How these people get inserted into this family's drama, I will never know. I will never know. Rose Myers doesn't need to be talking about Rose. Tim Mullins doesn't need to be talking about Summer. They do. The last person to see Rose is the one that needs to be talking to the police.
Let me make a prime example here. Look at Brandy Neal. Nobody speaks for her. She speaks for herself.
Yep. You're exactly right. She doesn't want anyone to speak for her. She wants the answers. She wants... Snazzy, I just got that. Looks like Dawn and Candace are calling the popo. Well, is it against the law to knock on someone's door? Last I heard, it's not. But I guess we'll find out today what happens. This is crazy. This is getting crazier and crazier. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off, Summer.
That's fine. That's fine. I just said, look at a prime example of a mother that has a missing child that speaks with the police. Have you ever seen Grandis speaking publicly with the police about Rose? Is there any content about that?
No. Did you see Dawn and Candace and Grandis standing with the TBI and Ronnie Lawson and Tim Coop when they were doing daily press conferences looking for Summer? No.
Exactly.
They wanted them out of their hair. They wanted it done and over with. They wanted the helicopters to not wake them up at night.
There you go.
These are their words, not mine. Carly with an eye said, nobody would be speaking for me. I'll tell you that. Trev said, if you need a mouthpiece, there's something wrong.
There you go.
On August 21st, 2009, Rose Marie Bly left her residence in St. Croix Falls, Wisconsin, believed to be en route to Cushing, just a short 6-mile drive to the east. The 21-year-old mother of two never made it. Days later, Bly's 2001 Pontiac Grand Am was found in the village of Grantsburg, nearly 17 miles north of her house, with no explanation as to how it got there. No one has seen or heard from her since. There hasn't been a day that has gone by when Candace Hare hasn't wondered where her youngest daughter is, or if she's okay.
With a missing child, there's a hole in your heart that can't be filled. And it's an impossible journey every day to wake up and wonder where she is.
Just trying to figure out where my daughter is. It's horrible. It's not a good feeling. It's just, I wish I knew where she was.
Where's the documentary of her driving around saying, I wish I knew where my granddaughter was? Pruitt says she's around there somewhere. Where is the documentary of Candy Cane Hare, Grandus Abandus, driving around with Cant, saying she's around here somewhere, we have to find her? There's a big difference here, folks. There's a big difference. Wist said, it is my experience that the guilty ones usually don't buddy up with the cops. What do you think about that, Summer?
Bingo. You hear about her, Grandus saying she wished she knew where her daughter was. She just wonders every day. But she never gets on any subjects about where she searched, whose home she's went to. Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can sit at your house and wonder all day long. That's not going to bring results. Trust me, it won't. Why aren't, or why didn't either one of them get in their vehicle, beat down doors, trying to find their child or children, might I say? Two's missing out of that family. Prime example. Let's go back to Brandy. Brandy and Tyler walked their feet till they was bleeding, searching for their child.
Till their feet bled. Extra AF said there's no relevant details. This video is propaganda.
Exactly.
No propaganda for Summer, though. She's just gone. She's just gone.
My name is Brent Walk, and I'm the Polk County Sheriff.
When Rose Bly went missing, Brent Walk was a patrol sergeant with the Polk County Sheriff's Department. Now a sheriff, Walk and his office have made finding Bly a top priority. To date, the Sheriff's Department has investigated more than 200 tips and have interviewed more than 150 people. Still, the same question remains. Where is Rose Bly?
Well, I sympathize with the family of Rose because they want to know the answers, much like we do. And when these answers are largely unknown, that's very difficult to deal with. When you have to keep questioning what happened to Rose and where did she go, and certainly that is the solution we're looking for. We want to bring closure to this. 10 years, a decade, that's a lot of time. And you just look at what's changed in our lives and our careers, yet alone this case is still out there. And we would like to bring conclusion to it.
10 years.
I tried to avoid this area. And I can't. It just draws me back. And I don't know.
Years of worry and wondering. A full decade Rose's children have had to spend without their mother. Someone knows something. Someone has the key. Everyone agrees it's time for this mystery to be solved. It's time for Rose to come home.
Not sure which way, but she's out there somewhere. It's hard not to cry. Even just out here looking, it just brings tears to my eyes. Not knowing what actually really happened that day. Rosie, if you're out there, I still have the same number. I want to bring her home.
Fundeski said Grandus was not supposed to leave Tennessee until September 21st. Doctor's appointment was in October, but she got the hell out of there in July. Right after the boys were taken, she got the hell out of there. She knew something was getting ready to go down. She knew it. Carol said, "No, I'm not, Brooks. I'm picking on Carol." What did you make of that when Grandus and Bandus got the hell out of Dodge in July of 2021, knowing that Summer had just disappeared the month before? Where's Summer?
There's a reason she got out of Dodge. And there's a reason she said what she just said about Rose. She tries her best to avoid that place. Why would you avoid the place where your kid went missing? That would be your last memories. You would want to stay there forever, just in case. 30 years from now, your child comes back.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't get these people.
Makes no sense. Now, we had a few comments after the show that we did last Tuesday, I believe it was. Tuesday or Wednesday, I can't remember now. I had to stop the show because we switched over to do the verdict for Adam Montgomery's weapons trial. So we're back to it today, as promised and being delivered. After that show, we had some comments, and one of them was that we're all going to be very surprised when we find out what all Grandus did to help her grandchildren. All right. On the screen, this is Grandus's brother. Clark County sex offender to be released. Say no more. That was in 2021. A lot went on in 2021. Now you have 2 grown women in a house, but neither can clean. Here's the camper, but I'm supposed to believe that she went through all kinds of hoops to help her grandchildren. Well, she has 2 in Wisconsin that were raised in the system. She has 3 in Tennessee currently being raised in the system. Why am I doubting that she did anything?
Grandus done nothing to help her grandchildren.
She couldn't have, or we wouldn't be in this situation.
Exactly. We wouldn't be here today if she done everything she could to help her grandchild or grandchildren. Not just one, but all 4. She didn't help her first 2.
She didn't help her first 2. Nope. Cheyenne said Grandus was mean and nasty to those children. Just ask Hunter. It's been said by multiple people. Connie said she didn't do chit. She didn't clean up the house. She didn't make sure they were fed. We've heard from multiple people. We've seen the house. You're telling me her knee is so bad that she couldn't just throw shit away? They all lived like this. You're telling me that she did all of this for her grandchildren, but she would allow them to lay on a mattress like that? What would you do, Where's Summer, if you saw one of your grandchildren had this mattress?
Number one, my grandchildren wouldn't have that mattress because it would never get to that point. I love my children, but my children are grown. My grandkids cannot tend to themselves. I will go through hell and walk the flames of it to protect my grandchildren. Matter of fact, I wouldn't even let my dog lay on that mattress.
I wouldn't let OJ lay on it. Look at this picture before Summer went missing. You're telling me Grandus did everything she could to help Summer? She didn't notice the obvious decline in her granddaughter? What do you think she did when she saw her little granddaughter with a shaved head? Are you kidding me? I don't think I'm going to be surprised at all. I'm not holding my breath for this big announcement that Grandus did everything she could to save her grandchildren.
Can we go back to something that I've always, and maybe somebody can explain this, since Grandus done so much to save her grandchildren. Let's go back to what Leslie Hill said that happened at Allie's home. The kids was roughhousing in a little pool. Candace made the boys get out and made them lay on hot pavement. And Grandus was sitting right there. Now, I'm a grandmother. If one of my children told my grandchild to lay on hot pavement, my child would be waking up in ICU.
Yep. I'd whip the dog do out of my child if I even heard a rumor like that, let alone
Exactly.
stood right there and looked at it.
And done nothing. You don't live 10 feet away from somebody and allow your grandchildren to live.
Uh-oh, we lost Where's Summer, but she's exactly right. She's exactly right. Jules says, I pray that Summer's story is the end of generational abuse. Just Me said they've never been held accountable, and that's the hardest part. How can a 5-year-old just vanish and nobody be held accountable? Now, cases take a long time, I'm not going to lie. We spoke last week about Kyron Horman, 13 years. We know Lyric and Elizabeth, it's been like over 10 years. They're still trying to figure out who killed them. Morgan Nick has been going on since the 90s. But we're talking about generational abuse. You're exactly right, Jules. If you look on the screen, this is Grandus's brother. This is her brother. Now, he was in jail when Summer disappeared, so I'm not going there. A Clark County SO is being released and will live in Thorpe, Wisconsin. 63-year-old Warren Hare served his sentence for sexual assault. According to a release from the Clark County Sheriff's Office, Hare will live at Kington Road in Thorpe, Wisconsin, starting on September 10th, 2021. Hare will be supervised by agents specializing in intensive supervision. My understanding is that he has the highest level. He is the highest level SO. That's her brother. That's her bubby. Oh, Bubby Warren. That's her bubby. Mary said he's icky. Where Summer is back. Extra AF said, whose house did he go to? From what my understanding is, it's a secured living facility, but it's not too secure because he was sitting outside of a McDonald's watching kids one day. You're back, Where Summer. Can you hear me? All right, so let's get to the differences. Here's good old Grandus, who waited until March of 2022 to speak out about Summer. And why did she do this? Why? Because the sheriff called her out. The sheriff called her out and said they're not cooperating. They have lawyers. She said, I can't speak for Donnie, but I don't have a lawyer, is what she said. They love to throw old Don under the bus. Not that it hurts my feelings. She clearly knew that Dawn had one of her grandchildren on the news. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit that. She clearly knew that her son-in-law, who she's not a big fan of, had her grandson on the news. She didn't do anything about that, but I'm supposed to believe that she is this great grandmother that will do anything for her grandchildren and that she's tried to protect them. No, I cannot believe that. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I'm not seeing it. I'm just not seeing it. Hang on, I'm trying to find something. Gotta go in order. Are you connected now, Where Summer? Hello? All right, I'll find it in a minute. It'll be out of order, but that's all right.
That's why I come on camera. Because I am sick and tired of the lies.
Missing Hawkins County 6-year-old Summer Wells' grandmother, Candace Hare, says it was hard to speak on camera as she's been reliving a familiar nightmare.
Rose has been missing for 12 years. I miss her dearly. She's the baby of the family.
Hare's youngest daughter and Summer's aunt, Rose Bly, went missing from Wisconsin on August 21st of 2009.
To go through it again with my granddaughter, Summer, is very heartbreaking. And that's what a lot of people don't understand, is what a parent goes through, what a grandmother goes through. It's the not knowing is what tears us up. It's the not knowing.
Back in November, her granddaughter's case received national attention on a 2-part Dr. Phil episode, which is why Hare thinks her daughter Candace Bly has continued to shy away from the media.
I think it had to do a lot with Dr. Phil. The way it came out on Dr. Phil when she was out there. I was not out there. I think it hurt Candace in a way. I don't know if it's helped or not. I don't believe it has. Maybe it's gotten more attention out.
Okay, here's a little opposite day for you. Every time an interview is done up on that hill, whether it be Chris McDonough or this one with WJHL, you hear dogs. Dogs. But we're supposed to believe that the day Summer went missing, there was no dogs. And no, Grandus, the Dr. Phil appearance did not help Candace. It did not. Because Dr. Phil said to her, I think you know more. The behavioral panel called out deception.
Out everywhere on them.
On June 15th, the day Summer was reported missing, Hare says she spent the entire day with her daughter and granddaughter. She says it started with a trip to the emergency room to have her knee checked out.
They prescribed me medication to take to get the swelling down out of my knee.
Okay, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nurse. But what do you all do when something's swollen? She has medication to take the swelling out of her knee. You don't put a knee brace on if you're swollen. You don't do that. I actually believed Don when he said, when he got home and all this was going down, he didn't notice a knee brace. But the knee brace is a big deal in this day.
Around my knee because it was inflamed. And then we waited around for my prescription. Summer went swimming that day at the horse stables, I believe it was.
After the family,
she said Summer went missing. Summer went swimming that day at the horse stables, I believe it was. She doesn't even place herself at the swim hole. She does everything she can to separate herself from the disappearance of Summer Wells.
Family returned home with groceries. Hare says she took a nap, woke up, and replants with her granddaughter. She says Summer ate a peppermint, went inside the house to play with her brothers, and that was the last time she was seen.
There was no sign of her.
Authorities say all possibilities of what happened to Summer are still on the table. But like the rest of the Wells family, Summer's grandmother believes she was abducted.
We never did find her. She called 911 and she called Donnie, and we sent the boys down over the hill, and I stood in front of over by the edge there and watched them. And was praying to God every minute that nobody would take them.
For more than a decade, Hare has said the same prayer.
I hope and I pray to God every day.
They sent the boys out, supposedly with this abductor out there, and she's praying to God that nobody takes them. You already have a missing daughter in your family, and you left 3 boys at home alone. Grandus already knows about the company that Candace keeps. You know why? Because she was part of the harem that was trying to get on Jose's pogo stick. She's the one that got a hold of Donnie and told him what was going on, that they were all playing swap the baloney. She's the one that drove him to South Carolina. She knows all this. Gotta be kidding me. Praying to God that they don't get abducted too?
Say all possibilities of what happened to Summer are still on the table. But like the rest of the Wells family, Summer's grandmother believes she was abducted.
We never did find her. She called 911 and she called Donnie, and we sent the boys down over the hill, and I stood in front of over by the edge there and watched them, and was praying to God every minute that nobody would take them.
For more than a decade, Hare has said the same prayer.
I hope and I pray to God every day.
Over the last almost 9 months, along with her daughter Rose, her granddaughter Summer has now been added to her plea.
That she's found alive.
We have more of that first-time interview along with a statement from Summer's mother, Candace Bly.
Yeah, Candace held up a sign, and it was basically a message to Dawn that she's not going to say anything. That is a very disturbing interview to me, because all the grandparents I know how my parents, my mom, may she rest in peace, rest in heaven. I know how my parents and my in-laws are about their grandchildren. They're like, I love you, you're my daughter, but piss on you, my life's all about these grandkids. She sat there and watched all of this. She talks to people on Messenger. She's had a lot of complaints about the drinking, the drugging, the fighting. Now, she won't point anything towards Candace. Of course, it's all about Dawn, but let's not forget, she lived there too. She saw this. She saw this fire hazard. This is a fire hazard. This is how she lives. She knows her daughter's all over YouTube. Hell, she was in the background cussing at another creator one night, and that was about Rose. She don't have any shits to give about Summer. She knows her daughter's all over YouTube. Her daughter put this in a chat. Cant said, we're not discussing Summer. This is about PG and being so evil to everyone. So you're telling me a YouTube creator is more important to discuss than Summer? Hello, True Crime with Shannon.
Hey, girl, you got me fired up yesterday. I'm
Woo!
fired up. I'm over this family. It's crap.
Woo! Tell me about it. What's going on?
Well, I had a little ranting going on my own thing yesterday, but I'm over the lies. She wants to go on there, Grandus, and we're tired of the lies. Well, we tired of the lies too, Grandus. We tired of them.
Mhm.
Why don't y'all tell the truth? And also, Hawkins County needs to get off their ass and do something.
Mhm.
As far as I'm concerned, they have done nothing. Nothing.
Well, since I have you in the hot seat, I'm going to get you real fired up. What do you think about this statement from Cant?
Oh, yeah, that one got me fired up. I am all over. She wants to talk about any and every damn thing but Summer. What mother has a missing child and does not want to talk about their missing child?
Mhm.
Apparently Candace.
And I agree with what RJ said yesterday. He said, forget all the stuff about PG and being so evil to everyone. He said, all I need is that first sentence. We're not discussing Summer.
Oh, yeah, that pissed me off. I'm over it. I'm letting it out, and if they want to come after me too, they can come after me. I want the truth. I want the truth. We all want the damn truth. We're over it. 2 years tomorrow. 2 years. Where is Summer?
Mhm.
Candace knows.
What do you think about her spending several hours in front of the coin pusher machine, wearing Dawn's basketball shorts, weighted down with quarters, with her ass crack hanging out, and she won $18 and then complained she didn't have money for dog food? If anybody wants to know what coin pusher is, here it is.
Pusher, a $2 start. Hold that skill stop button. We're gonna do $1 on this side and $1 on this side. Let's see if we make back more than $2. Oh, come on, good push. That was, wait, second wave. All right, let's see what we got back. $1.25. Okay.
What a winner.
She's a winner. Yeah, she's a coin pusher winner. Pease is trying to turn it into an Olympic sport. I'm all for it. So what do you think about the mother of a missing child that says we're not discussing Summer, and she has half the afternoon to play coin pusher, but can't be bothered to hang a flyer about her missing daughter?
Man, and it's hard not to bring up the yin to their yang, because Brandy Neal is the complete. That's how a mother behaves when their child is missing. Brandy is the queen. She is an amazing mom. Candace, on the other hand, God forbid that she has made any children into this world. She doesn't care about any of them. She don't care. I feel sorry for every one of them.
I talked to Brandy Neal yesterday. She's been in contact with the police. She's still hanging flyers or replacing flyers, when they get faded and stuff like that. She didn't mention anything about PG, coin pusher, R&R, or any of that stuff. What do you know?
And I'm sure they haven't even thought about doing much of any kind of vacation or leaving the state. And we all think at this point, if they went away, I'd feel like they deserve it because they need to maybe have some time together. But you know what? That's not what she wants to do. She wants to be home. God forbid her baby comes home. That's what you do. You stay home. And Candace is wandering all across the country. Dawn was in jail. She left the area. Now they're in Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere but Ben Hill Road.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe whatever happened to Summer happened on Ben Hill Road. Completely. And again, she wasn't taken, and she didn't wander off. So that leaves pretty obvious something happened that Candace knows about.
I heard she got her nails done with some fancy designs. They were saying they were about to go and live in the car because they can't afford the hotel. How are you going to spackle with those claws on?
Oh my gosh.
Well, I mean, really all she does is she stands there and she films Dawn spackling. Makes you wonder why she had to get the hell out of Dodge. And yesterday, News Nation confirming they had an email from Ronnie Lawson saying he's going to have an update real soon. It's going to go one way or the other.
Yeah, I saw that after I did my huge thing. And I thought, oh, okay. Let's see if they actually follow through. Because we've been hearing that they're not going to say a damn word. So, which ticked me off. And I know it ticked you off and everybody else in the chat. I'm like, 2 years tomorrow, and they had no plans up till, I don't know what made them change their mind.
Well, and it really pisses me off. And I don't talk about other creators on here, but actually, real quick, can somebody drop True Crime with Shannon's link in the chat? Because she has a lot of great coverage on her channel, not just about Summer, but many other cases. Sorry, my bad.
Thank you.
Anytime, sister.
Yeah, they can hear my ranting about it from last night.
Yeah. You rant
I
now.
have more coming.
But is it not just the shits that JLR knocks on the hotel door, she opens it and closes it, and they get right on the horn with the police and want charges pressed, but have no craps to give about their missing daughter. They can't even do their online alcohol classes for their boys. But JLR takes a picture of the Subaru and knocks on the door and says, "Where's Summer?" And they want him in jail.
I won't comment about him generically, but I think that was a good one from him. I wish I could see it. It's too bad he took it down. I hope he puts it back up.
Man, I tell you what, I wish I still had that.
Man, that ticks me off though, because usually I don't go by him too much. But anyway, but yeah, that's a good one. Occasionally, they get a good one on that. But I don't know. There's something to that, because why is she afraid? Of a little guy, a little man, because everyone's looking for the truth and they don't want to give it.
Mm-hmm.
We're all and I can't believe they still got enough people that are donating money so that she can play that damn coin pusher. I mean, come on, y'all. I mean, at what point do they realize that this family is full of crap?
Mm-hmm. Well, and I go back to the email that was sent by one of our friends to Dan Armstrong and said, when can they be prosecuted with their ever-changing stories they're making on public platforms? They keep changing their stories. They keep changing the events of the day. Now, we know Candace said it's not in her metabolism to lie, but I'd have to disagree.
Does she have a metabolism?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Well, remember, yeah, she had all kinds of difference to it. And I was rewatching McDonough, and let me tell you what, I have to tell you, I mean, we don't bring up, but he made a huge big thing for this case, because he interviewed and went on the property, and that's huge. She changed some things there, and she's changed it since. They all seem to have the same faces. There seems to be one spot that they hang on to, but the details kind of change. And then of course Don is always going, oh, and I don't know, you remember him, he still went on and on him, oh, I'm sure something's happening to her, she's getting hurt. We can't go into all the details here on YouTube, and I'm thinking, are you serious? That's the first thing you jump to? First, that your daughter was abducted and that somebody's hurting her? That's the first thing you go to. And then of course you go, oh, well, we'll see her in the afterlife.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what the hell?
Resurrection.
Yeah,
well,
resurrection, that's the key word. You're right. Resurrection. Correct me.
Mm-hmm. JD said Don probably called on Fred Hill. I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't. But this calling about JLR when you're not cooperating with the police about the disappearance of your daughter is insult to injury.
And I do think that they deserve everything they're getting right now from everybody in social media, because everyone's tired of the crap. They're tired of it. And like, again, Hawkins County is going to get it too, because at the beginning, I think that they, as far as the searchers, they did excellent. It's not the searchers we're talking about. We're talking about DA, sheriff's office, just sitting there. Oh, I listened to my voicemails about the tips. Pruitt. Come on. Get off your ass and find something to charge her with. Bring her ass in.
I checked my voicemails. Seriously? Oh, by the way, okay, Andrew, Hunter's father, grabbed the link yesterday, and I've been on him.
I saw him up there. Yeah, I saw him.
I've been on him for a while to get a hold of Sullivan County and get a police report filed. He said they won't take the report, everything like that. I called Sullivan County myself yesterday. I talked to dispatch, and they said, no, they're aware of the Summer Wells case. They said, no, he just needs to call. We'll get a detective, and we'll take the report. So why is he not doing it? He's probably listening right now. Andrew,
he should call.
Andrew, I sent you an email with the information, who I talked to, the phone number. They are more than willing to talk to you. And they said that they will put you on the phone with a detective and take the report. Do it for your son. Do it for Summer Wells.
Do it. Don't be an inaction person like the Wells. We'll just sit there and whine and take the handouts from everyone, from Dr. Phil to probably people who are just trying to barely make it so they can go play coin pusher. Crap.
Yeah, just don't mess with Coin Pusher.
I don't know. Can we put Candace in a cell with her coin pusher machine and maybe we can get the truth out of her?
That's a good idea, actually. So back to how we're all going to be surprised of everything that Grandus did to protect the kids. Mind you, 2 raised by the system in Wisconsin, 3 currently being raised by the state of Tennessee, 1 missing without a trace. Now, this clip is from when after the boys were taken, after Summer went missing, but this is kind of daily life for what went around there. Grandus is aware of this behavior. Please watch this with me.
Where's that pretty little zipper at?
He is outside as usual. Brenda, isn't it nice to see her smile? It is beautiful.
It's so nice.
Smile. It is.
I love y'all. Y'all are great.
No, you're the great one.
You're great.
Both of you are.
Both of you are.
Thanks for being our friends.
Your friends are hard to come by. See the Mountain Dew? Oh, that's what I'm drinking.
Alright.
Yeah, right? I'm drinking iced tea.
Well, it's a 2-liter, so you might as well.
Yeah, right? Just get one of them, remember they're strong, but they have the candy in them? You just empty them out and stick that in the 2-liter bottle. Candace, can you say that on?
Hey, can I have a friend join us?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Sure, absolutely.
Dale! Go get her.
You better ask her first.
Get mad.
Can you see what's on the screen,
Go get my
Candace?
baby.
Munich City Mom said she would like to help
Yeah, I
us out.
see you.
The comment that I put on
Come here, Dale. Get your ass out of bed.
He's like, I got church in the morning, woman. I was here cooking in the morning.
We gotta go to church and then we're gonna come home and work on the house. That's what we're doing tomorrow. Come here. Come here, my friend. Get over here. Come over here. You'll be in our lives, baby.
Get off of these.
Come here.
Come here, Dale.
Oh dear.
Come here, Dale. Where's that little zipper? I'm doing
We're
great.
going to church later. I'm like, oh Lord.
Using Mountain Dew as a chaser, wiping off her mouth like she's Sarah
Ugh.
Boone on a spigot.
Oh Lord, that's hard to watch.
And mind you, Pruitt has said she's around there somewhere, and that's what they're doing. Come here, Dale. All right, so this is Grandus talking about Rose. Totally different demeanor from when she's talking about Summer.
Years. I miss her dearly. She's the baby of the family. I had 3 girls. And she's my baby. Yeah. Candace is my baby too, but she's my youngest one. And it's heartbreaking, and then have to go through it again with my granddaughter Summer is very heartbreaking. And that's what a lot of people don't understand, is what a parent goes through, what a grandmother goes through. I know it's hard for them if they pass away from COVID or some other tragedy. It's the not knowing is what tears us up. It's the not knowing.
Totally different demeanor when she's talking about Rose than Summer. Summer's just gone. Summer's just gone. But
Yeah.
everything changes with her when she talks about Rose. She has more detail. She's the baby. She had said one time in another interview, she's the pretty one.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think about, mind you, this is just shop talk, when people say that Candace was very jealous of Rose and that she was jealous of Summer?
I think she was probably jealous of Rose. Summer, maybe, because look how pretty Summer is. Look how and the only reason she deteriorated is because of the way her mother treated her, shaving her head, not getting her health care, obviously, because she had some issues with her teeth. You could see in some of these photos. She doesn't look like she's well nourished at all. Definitely not in a place of someone who, in my opinion, truly cares about her at all. So I don't know to what level that goes with, but could she be jealous of her? That's possible.
I think with this case, anything could be possible.
That doesn't surprise me anymore.
Wolfie, let me play that clip again. Hang on.
Where's that pretty little zipper at?
He is outside as usual. Brenda, isn't it nice to see her smile? It is beautiful.
It's so nice.
Smile. It is.
I love y'all. Y'all are great.
No, you're the great one.
You're great.
Both of you are.
Both of you are. Thanks for being our friends. Your friends are hard to come by. See the Mountain Dew? Oh, that's what I'm drinking.
Yeah, right? I'm drinking iced tea.
Well, it's a 2-liter, so you might as well.
Yeah, right? Just get one of them preliminaries, they're strong, but they have the candy in them. You just empty them out and stick that in the 2-liter bottle. Candace, can you say that on?
Hey, can I have a friend join us?
Absolutely. Sure, absolutely.
Dale! Go get her.
You better ask her first. Can you see what's on the screen,
Go get my baby.
Munich City Mom said she would like to help
I
with the house.
see you.
The comment that I put on
Come here, Dale. Get your ass out of bed.
He's like, I got church in the morning, woman. I was here cooking in the morning.
We gotta go to church and then we're gonna come home and work on the house. That's what we're doing tomorrow. Come here. Come here, my friend. You're over here. Come over here. You'll be in our line, baby.
Come here, Dale. Where's that little zipper? Okay, so back to what Grandus didn't do to save her grandchildren. I do not believe that the behaviors that have been exhibited on social media, on YouTube, on the news are new behaviors. This is them. This is how they act. When
Yeah,
she
this is
LA,
them. This is really them.
this is them. This is
Yep.
them. And even the most oddball people are going to be extremely upset when their children are missing. This is not a Tennessee thing. They're not even from Tennessee. He's from Utah. She's from Wisconsin. You think people in Utah don't get upset when their children are missing? Nah. You think people in Wisconsin don't get upset when their children are missing? Nah. I can cite you many cases. Grandus is upset that Rose is missing. Her demeanor talking about Rose is opposite day of the way she talks about Summer. So here's more of their behavior. And Grandus as we know, never stepped in.
Every night when I wake up to piss before I go to sleep, I go to sleep. I go to sleep every night praying for Summer and begging God and asking Him why. Very first thought I have every night when I wake up to piss before I go to sleep, I go to sleep. I go to sleep every night praying for Summer and begging God and asking Him why. Every night when I wake up to piss before I go to sleep, I go to sleep. I go to sleep every night praying for Summer and begging God and asking Him why. Very first thought I have every night when I wake up to piss before I go to sleep, I go to sleep. I go to sleep every night praying for Summer and begging God and asking Him why.
Classy.
Yeah.
Classy. Now, Grandus was still there when Dawn had her grandson on the news looking publicly shamed.
Poor kid.
Obviously, she didn't step in. Obviously, she didn't step in because it was about a month later that all 3 boys were removed. I'm not buying that she's a good grandmother.
She went down in the basement. She didn't answer, so she went down there and she was gone. So she went out the basement door, which was unlocked, and we haven't seen her since.
This morning, Donald Wells spoke on camera for the first time since his daughter disappeared.
Please let Summer be okay, and please come home.
He says it's unlikely Summer would leave the house on her own. Wells says the last time anyone in the family saw Summer was when she entered the house to play in the basement after gardening with her mother and grandmother. Wells also spoke about his gut feeling about Summer's whereabouts.
Some bad person grabbed her, but we have no idea.
Wells says law enforcement have covered leads on area sex offenders and drug addicts.
We're trying to think, beat our brains out. We've covered everything that we can think of already.
Investigators say they have followed up on 85 tips so far. Wells says he is overwhelmed by the massive numbers of personnel on site.
We just really appreciate everybody trying to help that they have, law enforcement and all these volunteers that are here. I've never seen anything like this in my entire life.
That was John Janko reporting those sentiments shared by Hawkins County Sheriff Ronnie Lawson, who said he has never seen a show of public support like this in his 4 decades of law enforcement.
Elaine for the win. She said it wasn't meant to help Candace. It was meant to help Summer. You see, all of this is to help Summer, not Dawn, Candace, and Candy Cane Hair. We don't care about Cant.
Nope.
We don't care about Dawn.
I feel bad for the son that they had out there, man. He just looked like, oh.
It's horrible.
He's a pawn. He was a pawn. Dad made him stand there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think the boys know something, though, but I hate to think that they, you know, I'm sure somebody's talked to them in all this time, but I think they know something.
Well, and on this channel, much like yours, I've dropped the link a few times. We're here for the victims. And if their families are not involved, we stand behind their families. But if the police are saying foul play is possibly involved and everyone's a suspect, I'm not propping those people up. They need to clear that up with the police. They need to be on the news every time the news will allow them to clear their name so they can find what happened. So back to Grandus. This is Dawn and Candace upset that they can't have contact with their sons. Why is she not doing something about this? Why isn't she trying to get custody of her grandsons? Why didn't she save her grandchildren from the state of Wisconsin? Because they did not have a good upbringing. They did not. Her granddaughter, Candace the third, at one time was also missing because she ran away from a foster home due to abuse.
The parents of the Hawkins County 6-year-old at the center of a 1.5-year-long Amber Alert are criticizing the Department of Children's Services for the handling of their case involving their older children. Don and Candace Wells' youngest child, Summer Wells, has been the subject of a statewide Amber Alert since June 15th of 2021. A little over a month after she was reported missing from her home in the Beach Creek community, Summer's 3 older brothers were placed into DCS custody. In a recent blog post on the family's website, findsummerwells.com, the Wells claim they have not been in contact with their children in protective custody. The post, in part, says, quote, "They tell us we can no longer see or call our boys."
Okay, let's look at this. I'm not up on the CPS laws. I'm not. I have no use for them. My children are grown. But let me ask you, Shannon, because I know you keep up on a lot of things. This is their statement. They tell us we can no longer see or call our boys. Now, that's because Candace called the foster mother, I believe, of one of the boys, and she was drunk. Now, Don said she wasn't drunk. He said she'd had a stroke, and her stroke was acting up. Well,
Right.
I've heard her stroke act up before. So he says, they tell us we can no longer see or call our boys. Our assigned lawyer does not return calls. The regional DCS person did not respond to our email. What do you think that means, Shannon?
That means they don't want them to contact the boys. Period. And there's a reason they are keeping them away from the boys. Typically, if you're in protective care, from what I understand, you're not supposed to contact them without going through, I guess, whoever their worker is or your lawyer. And if your lawyer is not returning calls, well, I guess you need another lawyer if you truly care.
Well, when your lawyer's not returning calls, it's because they're done lawyering for you. You see, when you shit in your own nest, they can't help you. When you get a DUI in a violation of parole months after losing your children and you're not cooperating with the police about your missing daughter, you can't defend that. There's nothing they can do. I think when they have their next hearing, which I'm told it's going to be in August, I think that's when the hammer's going to come down and they're losing all rights.
I was wondering. I was like waiting for that. Yeah, I'm really hoping, because I'm pretty sure the boys do not want to go back to Candace and Don. Guarantee you they'll tell the judge that. Why would you want to go back to that when they're probably living a much better life? Much better.
Nicely done said it means there were incidents during calls or visits that concern the judge, and that's huge. Exactly. Because when a judge makes this ruling, that's huge. You're exactly right. Nicely done. Nicely done on the comment.
I like that.
Nicely done.
Assigned lawyer does not return calls. The regional DCS person did not respond to our email. Yet there are no charges against us. Nothing. End quote. This comes almost 3 months after Don Wells was released from jail after pleading guilty to a DUI in October of 2021. The couple says they have kept up to date with recent issues with the department, including a scathing recent audit. We have reached out to DCS for comment. We have not yet heard back. The Amber Alert for Summer Wells remains active and ongoing tonight. If you have any information about where she could be, call TBI.
You know, sometimes they do a good job. Sometimes you have CPS, the Children's Protective Services. Sometimes they're doing right. In this case, they are doing right. I've seen the other side, and you have too. But this time, they're doing it right.
Well, they are. And remember, I'm not calling anyone a liar, but the people that I have to find out how I'm going to phrase this because it sounds really rude. Half of the times when people say the police won't do anything or CPS won't do anything, it's because they haven't done anything. Now, I do know there is cracks in the floor. Do not get me wrong, but it is not the occasions that we hear about. I can't tell you how many of these people, Allie, Leslie, may she rest in peace, Jody Sue, all of this cast of characters, I'm telling you, none of them made a call to CPS. None of them. None of them.
Yeah, this is a case that's quite obvious in a lot of ways. And you know, I can compare it to case in New York that I'm still working on, doing stuff with the Valva boys, and they had calls from the school, everything, and those kids begged for help. Guess what? They did nothing. In this case, nobody did anything, and so it's like, it goes to show we have a system. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does crap. So,
And the elephant in the room is CPS should only be there to place children when their parents die in a car accident, not to go into homes and say, clean up your nasty living conditions, quit doing drugs, quit drinking to an oblivion, quit beating your kids.
yep. But we have way too much of that, and that's the biggest. And then we have the judges who, they're also a part of that. So it's a very wide net as far as that's concerned. But as far as how they're handling with these three boys, that to me is the one plus that's happened. The one plus. Their boys are being protected.
And Summer saved her brothers. Lone Wolf, thank you for the super sticker, said Dawn was given a choice. The boys or Candace. I totally believe that. I think as things are coming down the pike, all the arrows are pointing towards Candace. And we have seen other cases where men quickly get away from the women when they realize Al Stout is a good example. He started working with police very quickly because he knew something with Letitia's stories were not adding up. Had he not, he probably could have lost his kids. Thank you, Lone Wolf.
Forgotten grievers, children like Summerwell's three older brothers impacted by family trauma. For the brothers ranging in age from 7 to 13, a double trauma. First, Summer's highly publicized disappearance, and then just weeks later, their removal from their home and placement in state custody, where those brothers of Summerwell's have now spent nearly a year themselves. We talked about this with local therapist Julie Burks. She said intensive counseling in these cases like this is a must.
I can tell you, my heart's broken. I'm feeling sad, or I'm really ticked off because, I'm missing this person or whatever. Whereas a child doesn't always have the tools yet or experience of life to understand and how to cope with that in a healthy way.
Burke says children who get enough therapy and complete it can become very resilient and move forward and have a great life. Again, Summer Wells still missing tonight. If you have credible tips, call 1-800-TBI-FIND.
Why is Grandus not doing anything about this? The forgotten survivors, 3 boys. We are reigning in here. We got memberships. Thank you, Connie. Thank you, Carol. Thank you, Angel. We have a big Father's Day show coming up. I keep telling my husband he's going to host, and he's like, I don't know how to do all that. It's okay.
Is he coming on? Is Greg coming on?
Yeah. Clementine said, Dawn and Candace are codependent addicts. They don't want children, in my opinion. Exactly. Yep. Hard to party when you have those mouths to feed. How come Grandus didn't do anything about Jose and Allie and Hunter and True and the partying going on at the house when Donnie Boy was in Utah? Why didn't she do something?
Makes you wonder. Yeah.
Makes you wonder.
Think there's more to the Rose thing too, but I definitely do believe, like you said, there's definitely quite a difference in how she talks about Rose and how she talks about Summer.
Pease, who is working to get Coin Pusher made into an Olympic sport, said history repeats itself with no lifestyle changes, ongoing jealousy, substance abuse, and family history. Summer ended all that. Summer ended the fun. Summer ended it.
Yeah, I believe it's a matter of time before Candace is going to get it. It's just sad that it's so slow, but like I said, I believe it's going to happen. It's going to happen because people like us, we're not letting it go. We're getting justice for her, period. If it's going to take more time, I can wait. Justice, I would prefer it be faster, but sometimes it's just not.
Crazy Chicken Lady is now a new member. Thank you, Carol, Just Shay, Stardust, Amazing G, CMRD. You guys check out all the members' content. There's going to be more today because I'm going to put something on the channel before the show tomorrow for Summer's 2-year. Now, several people wanted me to replay this. This is Candace flirting with Ernie. Again, Grandus knows these things are going on. Why is she not doing anything? I don't care about Don B. No offense to him, but I don't care about the t-shirts. I don't care about the channel. Just watch Candace when Earn the Burn comes on.
But yeah, it's insinuating. Is that Ernie?
Yeah, that's Ernie. That's his
Yeah, that's Ernie.
Okay, come up, Ernie, if you want
Yeah,
to.
he needs to come up and say hi, the old stranger.
Get up here, Ernie.
Everybody's saying that you ditched me the other day when you come up here, which I know Ernie's in and out all the time. So Ernie don't know.
Yeah, he ditches everybody.
He does.
Been trying to call him for weeks. He freaking won't even answer his phone.
I know. Ernie's just Ernie.
Unless he wants to be mean to me. Then I'll send me a message.
But yeah, I mean, he's more than welcome. Don B, if you want to come up here and you got things to say, well, you need to come up here and apologize to Candace. This is your chance to make things right. There's Ernie on.
I'd like to talk to Don.
Hey.
Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing?
Pretty good.
Well,
Do you remember me, Ernie?
I do remember you.
Okay.
We got lips up here.
Okay.
Hey, stranger.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
Oh my God, is that Candace?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Candace, you looking pretty good today.
I'm trying my best.
Her
That's
hair's
good.
all long and stuff.
She's doing good, Ernie. She's doing real
Looks
good.
like you straightened right up and got your headphones set on. Lord.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Living
good.
the good life.
I love you,
good.
Jinky.
That's her new nickname, Can.
Tin Can.
What's
That's
today's
what we call
conversation
Ben
about,
Gilroy.
y'all?
We don't
Don
call
B's
it.
Don B and his bull crap.
He's making t-shirts with Summer's name on it and selling it. This right here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why would he do that? He ain't got no reason to be doing that.
Well, right.
His business to be doing that.
And he's the one that's been stalking.
Yo, stranger. Then she turns on the camera, does the braless lean back. I'm doing good. I'm doing pretty good. She's doing good, Ernie. How can she be doing good? Everything that has come out of her womb has been abused or you can't find.
True. God.
You got a head.
Yeah, her day is coming. That's all I can do to keep myself from wanting to smack her through YouTube.
You got a headset on.
Drive up to Tennessee.
She wanted to make sure Ernie got a drink of that. She turned on that camera. He goes, oh, hell, is that Candace?
Ooh.
Yep. Yo, stranger. Yo, stranger.
She'd be blushing. It's hard to tell with her crappy camera, but I'm sure she's blushing.
Lone Wolf, thank you for the super sticker. Said, how come no one is talking about the 3 friends, witnesses of Candace that have died since Summer went missing, especially the one that died on June 16th? I heard none of them are related. What have you got for me, Lone Wolf? I was under the understanding that she's not connected to them in any way. So now we're back to this. She's like talking about Don B and his bull crap. Your daughter is missing. He's got t-shirts out there, which he's probably not going to make a penny off of because merchandise doesn't make you any money. And to keep your daughter's name out there. Just like she said, we're not going to discuss Summer. We're talking about PG. Hang on. Nothing is more important than your daughter being missing.
But I think the key is she's not missing. That's where I come back to. That's the only thing I can think of.
Mm-hmm.
Only thing I can think of is Candace knows where Summer is. Period.
Wolfie said those t-shirts are more than Candace has ever done. Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
But she calls it bull crap. Bull crap. Now they're hot on the police in Springdale because someone knocked on their door. So they care about their own asses, but not their daughters. There she is on another channel. Ernie comes on. She flips on the camera because she's creaming her jeans. Yo, stranger.
Dear, oh dear.
Can't want some of Ernie's pogo stick.
Apparently. I don't know. These are the kind of people you gotta fix. Period.
That's what I say. That's what I say. You mess up
taking the cat or dog to the vet. I think some adults need to be snipped.
You mess up with one child, exactly. Snip sip for the mama and the daddy. That's it. You don't get another chance for society to raise your children.
I'm for it.
Tiffany said, you don't look for something that's not missing.
Yep, that's what I'm saying. I think we all kind of figuring it out without figuring it out at this point. Like I said, I at the first I wanted to believe their scripted story. The more though you look into it, it just doesn't make sense. None of it does. Just so many thick red flags and nah.
Too many red flags. All right, guys. Well, it has been a great show. Don't forget, we are live every day at 9 a.m. Central. True Crime with Shannon. Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you very much for my birthday present, even though OJ thinks it's for him. I dropped your link. Everybody check out True Crime with Shannon. Thank you to Where's Summer for coming up. Tomorrow is a big show. It is 2 years missing. I want to thank everybody for the new memberships. Thank you for the donations to the channel. You guys are too kind to me, and you're too kind. What you do to keep this channel going never will be forgotten. You guys are the absolute best. Thank you, Mod Squad, for keeping it real, keeping it cool, keeping it light every day. Thank you for being the best chat and the best community on YouTube. And I will see you back here tomorrow. Bring your Kleenex, because it's going to be a tearjerker. I don't know another way to put it. Great show. Love you guys, and I'll see you on the other side.